Are you going places or left behind because you don't have a travel companion? Listen to how you can travel more independently. Dr. Travelbest will bring you the best answers, tips, and hear mistakes so you can benefit.
Welcome to Dr. Mary Travelbest's Independent Travel Guide. This is for women who travel, who want to travel, and especially for those who want to travel independently. What's on your bucket list? I'll help you get there. I'll respond to your travel questions as well as share my mistakes and missteps in travel because I've made just about every mistake. You don't have to. I wrote and published the world's first guide to independent travel with travel experiences to share so you make your trip the very best, like Dr. Travelbest. The FAQ for this episode is, what kind of a trip could I take for a 50th birthday party on the beach? The destination is Vancouver, Canada. My mistake is putting on snow chains the wrong way. And my travel advice is a special little tip about San Francisco. So here's the FAQ. I'm turning 50 next year, and I want to go somewhere special. What would you recommend that has great beaches? If you want to spend time at the beach, I'd visit Tybee Island near Savannah, Georgia. I was there over Labor Day, and if you recall, that was right before the hurricanes were so close to hitting. They never really got any damage to the beach. The beach is really nice. I really like the whole area, the drive, the people, the beaches. They were just so warm and comforting. And it's an easy drive from many Southeast U.S. cities. So if you find yourself looking for a beach, you might just want to hit up the sun in Georgia at Tybee Island. For another destination, we're going to talk about Vancouver, Canada. So I drove to Vancouver from Whistler last year, and we arrived without reservations, not knowing where we're going or what we're going to do. We ended up in a place called Granville Island, and we found the public market. Now, you will love this if you like fresh fish, fresh vegetables, fruits, and a lot of local color. I really felt like I was surrounded by water. Well, Granville Island. So we stopped for lunch at a place called the Bridges restaurant, and we watched the paddle boards and the ferries pass by. One thing about Vancouver that I was kind of interested in was the traffic lights. They were blinking green, and that meant go. Also, the HOV, or high occupancy vehicle lanes, were on the right, and they were called bus lanes. I found a really nice neighborhood outside of town that you might want to visit. It's called White Rock. Just a few minutes outside the main drag, but it was a little bit more relaxing and casual than the inner city. Now, my first trip into Vancouver was for the World's Fair back in 1986. That was such a special experience. It's about such an event for the people of Vancouver. Even though it was about 30 years ago, the locals remember how this transformed their city. So when you visit, ask them about the World's Fair. They'll be delighted to tell you about their experiences. My friend Heather is from Vancouver, and she's a world traveler, just like you will be someday, maybe. Many Canadians love travel, and maybe that's because of their very long winters. What do you think? Another thing that I want to share about this area is Vancouver. If you are there, you could take a ferry over to Victoria. I would recommend you visit the Bouchard Gardens, as well as some of the wildlife on the island. So I'd really recommend some of these gardens were the nicest in the world. So lovely. Let me know what you think about them. So today's mistake, snow chains, how to put them on and take them off. This was my mistake. I had no idea what I was doing. Here's the situation. It's cold. You may have chains in the car. You don't know how to use them. Or maybe you just had to buy them and now you don't even know what to do. I rarely drive on ice these days if I don't have to. But one time I was in Bishop, California on my way to Mammoth Mountain, and I nearly froze my fingers. The chains kept falling off. What is the solution? First, drive a car that's maybe a four-wheel drive, like a Subaru. Next, wait until the weather clears up or have someone else drive you there. If you don't drive in snow, then consider other options. This was a miserable trip. and I would not have wished that on anyone. So chains are a pain. So here's my travel advice. One of the most popular destinations in the world is San Francisco. Have you been there lately? There are just so many things to do. One of them is to walk along the wharf, which millions of people do every year. Here's a tip that very few people know about. If you happen to be in San Francisco, one of the best tips is to take the short hopper ferry terminal to the 41st Pier. You'll feel like you're cruising in the bay, and it's just great. It's not long either, and the cost of the trip was the best thing, $1.70 per person. What a great find that is. So take that short hopper. I want to bring meaning to your travel. Thanks for sharing this world's first guide to independent travel. Dr. Mary Travelbest wants your girlfriends to hear about this. So if you want to know more, just search for us. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and every podcast channel. And helping women travel best is my goal. So please send me your travel questions so I can help you and help others too. Thank you.
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travelbest, that is.